the concept of marketing is it's a very broad term, and at the same time it's a very simple term. It's something that I strongly believe that not a lot of people pay attention to the degree that they should be paying attention to.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about the thing that actually moves the needle. You're just thinking about the irrelevant stuff, right? So there's something I always tell people here. You don't have a business to register if you're not making sales.
Yeah.
What validates the fact that you have a business is that people bought your product. Hi guys, welcome to today's podcast. If you are not familiar with who these guys are, we are the A1 Balls podcast. My name is Valentine, but I'm popularly called Val, and this is
Barahat, popularly called Barahat.
Say less. So basically, all we do in this podcast is we talk about everything concerning sales and everything concerning marketing. Right now, we've been uploading a lot of episodes on Spotify before now, so this is supposedly our first upload on YouTube. Right? Cool.
Wait, unos is one in Spanish, yeah? What's one in Spanish?
Unos.
Because when I said this at first, other than unos, like I don't even know what I said, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Brad somehow assumes that he's talking to a Spaniard, but I have no clue what unos or onos is.
So is that what they're called?
Yes.
Spaniards?
Yes. What do you think they're called? Spanishans?
For some reason, I want to believe you, but I don't want to believe you.
Go ahead. Should we Google fact it?
We don't have a researcher.
But should we fact it?
we could. But anyway.
Help us and check.
Spaniards.
Wait, check it though. Yeah. While we're waiting for him to check, I could affirm. So, should we bet? If I'm correct, give me 500. If I'm wrong, I'll give 500.
What, dollars?
Naira, do you have dollars?
You never know. Wait, sure, I'm done.
While we're waiting, we are done. Okay, while we're waiting for him to go check it. So, like I was saying, we talk about everything sales, talk about everything marketing, basic stuff as regards to knowing how best to sell your product, how to attract more ready-to-buy customers. And as we progress, you probably understand better. I don't think we can do so much of the explaining of what we do, as compared to like actually doing it, right? So we're just gonna get down to it. So there's a for better clarity, right? I think we should talk about something so that the people will get to know how knowledgeable we are as regards to like this whole sales and marketing thing. So
talk to me.
Have you Google checked it? Oh, cool. So we're having a bit of issues with the research, but we'll find out before this episode ends if people from Spain are called Spaniards, right? Cool. Then he believes. What do you think they're called?
I don't know. But I just feel like Spaniards doesn't just sound right.
This is all right.
It's not just me, right? It's not just me, right? All right. So yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
we'll see. So there's something we always talk about, right? And so are they called Spaniards? Okay.
I mean, I aired out my mind about how I felt about something. I didn't say whether or not you're wrong or not. But yeah.
See,
sure.
the thing is, you don't understand that I'm your father.
Oh gosh, sure. Stroke your own balls now. Let's go. Go ahead.
See, I make things good. And when I
moving on from whatever this is, yeah. You're saying we talk about something.
All right, cool. So I want us to have a conversation as regards to like the basic or the nitty-gritties of sales or marketing, right? The concept of marketing is a very broad term, and at the same time it's a very simple term. It's something that I strongly believe that not a lot of people pay attention to the degree that they should be paying attention to it, right? Because oftentimes when people think about running a business, the first thing they're thinking about is doing flyer. Or the first thing they're thinking about is renting shop, especially in Nigeria. The first thing you're thinking about is like, you're not thinking about the thing that actually moves the needle. You're just thinking about the irrelevant stuff, right? So you're already thinking of the name of the logo. You're already thinking of the logo. You're thinking of the name of the business. You're thinking of registering the business. You don't have there's something I always tell people here. You don't have a business to register if you're not making sales. Like what validates the fact that you have a business is that people bought your product.
There's evidence of a contract or sales or exchange of money and
if
value.
there is no if there's no exchange, you don't have a business. You just have an idea.
Yeah, I was going to say that basically you're just registering your idea.
It's just an idea, right? So what I feel like primarily, yeah, a lot of people have ideas, but they have businesses. So you will run your life for like 4 or 5 years, and all you have is just an idea. Like but you're posting shit, but you don't have a business.
Yeah.
So you only have a business when you have started knowing how to exchange your value or exchange your product for money.
Yeah.
And to do that successfully, you necessarily or you must understand the basic concept of selling and marketing. If you don't understand that, you're probably going to struggle for the rest of your life to grow your business. That being said, yeah, there is how marketing is done and there's how sales is done. So there's a easy explanation I used to give for understanding the difference between marketing and sales, but that's something we're going to talk about probably in another episode. Let's not like go into so much details. But primarily, to get anybody to buy your product, what's the first thing you must understand or they must understand?
The reason why people would buy your products, what's the value you're offering?
And you have the mic. Go on, sir. Go on, daddy.
So basically, yeah, especially around this area, when people tend to have the idea of starting a business, you want to sell a product and sell something, we don't first of all think of, okay, what value, what change is my product, instigating the community or my audience or my niche or whatever. The first thing you do is I have a product or I come and buy. You expect people to buy just because you're selling. That's like highly wrong. So if you're going to start off a business here, first of all, think, what will make a person give me their money? What value am I giving to them? What's the emotion behind it? It's not just the product. It has to be something that triggers them.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, I remember there was a time where we were talking on Audio Pod and we spoke about a brand. And this brand now, they sell energy drinks. I'm pretty sure a few of you have like a few guesses.
Red Bull.
Sure, steal my thunder. But yeah, like you said, Red Bull. They sell energy drinks, yeah. But if you go through their Instagram or TikTok, you would hardly see a post that has a Red Bull can.
Yeah.
Like just a flyer and says, oh, buy Red Bull or we sell Red Bull. It's mostly how Red Bull makes you feel. You would see them, two pilots exchanging planes mid-air. You don't see that one? Ah, man, it's crazy one. They flew 2 jets and then mid-air, the 2 pilots skydived and exchanged their planes. It was a really crazy one. You should see, it's really crazy. So you see stuff like that. You
The
see
blood
people,
of Jesus.
You see people driving a car over a lake or something.
Yeah, I think that's when I see the most.
Driving a car over a lake and then a yacht is passing by under. Like it's crazy things.
How is the yacht? Is the yacht?
So there's a ramp on the 2 ends,
Right.
and then the yacht passes through while the car ramps over it.
Mad.
Like at the same time.
First of all, yeah, those stunts are actually done. Like, do you think they're done?
Yeah, they are done. It's not CGI. Like there's a lot of calculation. I think I saw a video. I don't know if it was a creator who was explaining the science behind it or the amount of work that goes into it, or it was Red Bull
Pronounce
themselves.
that science again.
Science.
Okay, continue.
What's the problem?
You came out.
First of all, I'm not from Uyo. But anywho, this is how we to the podcast in the first place, right? But okay. He was talking about how there's a lot of... Are you done?
I'm not. Continue, fam.
Like, I need to finish laughing so that by the time I cut it, it's a smooth transition.
You're not cutting nothing.
I'm
fam.
cutting it from...
You're not.
All right.
Continue.
Anywho, so I think it was a creator who was explaining how they pay attention to calculating, the angles and everything so much so that they don't make mistakes. They take days. I think it was Red Bull. I don't know if it was Red Bull that sponsored it or it was them that broke the record for the longest ski jump or something. So
I don't
basically,
know about that.
basically, they're like crazy things are going on their social media. Someone once said that Red Bull sells energy drinks on the side. Or they do other things to make money. Now, the idea behind their social media looking that way is because they are not selling you the products firsthand. They're selling you the emotion. So when you drink Red Bull, you're wanting to associate with something that is successful, something that is, the feel of being energetic, the feel of having a thrill. You're looking for what's the word? Adrenaline.
Yeah.
By the time you watch, I've watched. There's been a time where I watched 3 Red Bull videos, and I started craving Red Bull, just because I'm like the energy that this will bring.
It has never happened
It's not happened to you?
No.
Oh, it's happened to me.
Right.
You never admit if it happens to you or not. But
I could admit if you have. What's wrong with you?
It's you.
What do you mean it's me?
They'll get to know you as we go on. Anywho. But yeah, so they're selling you the feeling of having a Red Bull drink in your system, what it does to you, the energy it provides and all that. Now, that is the go-to mindset for a business owner. That's the go-to mindset for a business person, basically. You have a product in the market. Don't first of all go to a graphic designer to create a logo or find a name or design a flyer, whatever. None of that is relevant. Do you understand?
do that.
You're just wasting money on something that is not going to convey the value of your product. If you sell, let's say, what can I use? You sell a drink, a homemade drink or something, let's say yogurt or something. There are like at least 100 other people in your city that sell yogurt. What stands you out from them? If you make a flyer with your yogurt, let's say it is Val's Val's yogurt or something, or Val's milk or something, and then you put the flyer out there on Instagram or something, that is just adding to, what's that look?
Continue, no?
Anywho, that's just adding to the 100 plus other people out there who have a yoga flyer on Instagram.
Yeah.
What stands you out? But if you go with the approach of making a video that shows somebody on a hot day having your cool chill yogurt, I promise you, when I'm watching that
Pause
video,
first. So imagine you building your entire business around the fact that when your day is hot and tiring, the go-to is Val's yogurt.
Yeah.
Now, what that does to people is people start to associate hotness, tiredness, frustration, exhaustion to Val's yogurt.
Yeah.
So immediately they start to feel that way. What they're thinking of is, oh, I would like to drink Val's yogurt. I would like to have a taste of Val's yogurt. And if you check it, that's what Coca-Cola does.
Yeah, I was literally about saying that.
That's literally what Coca-Cola does.
Speaking of Coca-Cola, I read a crazy article. So before, like, this was like in the, I think, late 90s or something. Just if I'm wrong, drop the comments under. But I think
No, actually, if what you're about to talk about is a marketing strategy, is this Santa Claus?
Yeah, the Christmas thing.
It's late 90s.
Late 90s, right?
Yeah.
So they were thinking about how they
Not
could,
late, early, like
90s.
1930 or something like that.
Right. So
You can fact check it though.
Coca-Cola had this thing where they didn't want to be known as a seasonal drink. They wanted to be known as a drink for all seasons.
Yeah.
Not just the summertime,
Yeah.
it's a hot day. You have Coca-Cola in the chill out with ice in it. They didn't want to just know for that.
Yeah.
So how do we incorporate it into, the festive period?
Yeah.
And they went over a lot of research and planning, and then that's how they get back to the whole thing of Santa Claus and the whole red thing. And the story is long, but basically they found the perfect way to marry Christmas celebration, festivities and all that with the products.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And I think one of the selling points was the fact that Coca-Cola ties families together.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it was so
Because
incredible.
if you check out any video ad right now that's probably trends of Coca-Cola, it's always about family,
friendship,
togetherness, love, being together with the people you care about. It's always around that fact. You will never just say Coca-Cola,
that's
the
drink.
product or the drink in itself. It never happens.
Yeah, many of you will remember there was a season where this whole trend of having names, Nigerian names on their bottles came about. And in my area, I've seen people a few times, like when it first came out, a few people would get a bottle and would look for their friend's name. I've literally been in the shop and someone said, "Oh, look for a cocoa for me."
Yeah.
Their friend's name was Cocoa, and she actually found a Coke bottle that had cocoa on it.
Yeah.
Like, you could just see the joy of how, my friend's name is on this thing. Like, so you see the power of emotional marketing beyond just the product. There has to be the backdrop. Like, when you're putting out the products out there, first thing you think about is, why would people buy? There are 100 more people out there that are selling the same thing I'm selling. Why would someone buy? Why would somebody come to me and say, "Oh, I want to drink your milk. I want to drink your yogurt," or whatever it is you're selling? Do you understand? So yeah. Do you have anything to add?
That's actually very, 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 very powerful. If the moment you can solve the question of why would people buy from you, I think you're good. Honestly, once you can solve that question, why would people buy from you, you're good. Because that question would then now lead to the concept of, okay, this is the feeling I want people to have when they use my product. This is the result I want people to get when they use my product. And once you understand that feeling, once you understand that result you want people to get, start to hammer on that thing. Like, forget every or any other thing that people are doing out there. Hammer on that particular concept, which is, when people use my product, this is how I want them to feel.
Yeah.
This is how I want them to think.
Yeah.
This is how I want them to behave.
Yeah.
Because once you understand this is how the leading businesses in the world, this is how they operate.
Yeah.
From iPhone to Red Bull to everybody, there is how people feel.
Yeah.
There is the psychological manipulation and
Yeah.
co that they sell out or they give to people that governs how they behave and how they relate to their so-called products.
Yeah.
So by the time you understand, okay, this is what I want to be known for, so this is the feeling I want the people to have, selling becomes easy.
Speaking of manipulation, so I was scrolling on TikTok, yeah.
Sometimes I feel like it's actually manipulation, but it sounds scary. But continue.
Yeah, well, it is. So the way you said that, it triggered because a creator. So this guy, I can't remember his name. Is white. She's white, but
That sounds racist.
yeah, I was also saying that's not racist, but I now figured that if I say it, it will put the thought in people's heads, and then you went ahead and said it. But anywho,
It's not racist. Let's rewind. Let's rewind.
Anywho, so yeah, there's this content creator. Yeah, he's not niche down. He's an educator creator, whatever it is they call themselves. Where like he does almost every and anything. So you could sell a course today, or he has a platform where he sells the course, but he creates content about other things.
Do I know him?
I don't think you do. He's not one of the popular ones. Just
What's his name?
I can't remember his name. I just came across the video.
Danko.
No, Danko. He's a young guy.
Alright, cool.
But basically, yeah, he was talking about how when he made his first million or something like that, he stepped into a dealership and he wanted to get a car for himself, wanted to get a ride. Now, the ride he was aiming for was a Lexus something. It was a sports brand of Lexus, but he had his eye on a Porsche 911. And so while he was looking at it, the dealer guy was selling to somebody else or talking to somebody else.
Right.
And he noticed him in front of the Lexus, but his eyes were on this thing. And he left who he was talking to and came to him and spoke to him, like got to know him better, and then asked him about the car. He said, yeah, I want this car. He now asked him, what do you really want in the car? Well, what are you looking for in the car? And I said, well, like I'm a young entrepreneur, I just hit my first meal, just explain to him like his journey in business and all that. And I say, now beautiful say something about like beautiful choice, yeah, but what you're telling me right now, this car can give it to you.
Yeah.
Let me show you something. He took him to the 911. And I said, he said a few things. You see this car, be something about beautiful for you, nice height for nice space for your height and all that. And then he goes ahead to tell him, I have one request from you though. Whatever you do, don't tint this car. You're a young man, you're good looking, you have money. When you drive this car down the street, people hear the engine revving from a mile away. Once you pass, the ladies see you. Yeah. They see a young man driving his Porsche. They'll look for where you're parking and they'll come to you. You don't have to chase them. So whatever you do not tint this car. The ladies will come to you.
There's no way that guy's not buying. Even me, I'll be buying. As he's telling me now, bought the car.
The guy just went ahead and bought, like he could afford it. First of all, the seller had established the fact that he could afford the car.
Yeah.
And then he showed him the emotion behind buying the car.
Yeah. He didn't sell him the specs of the cars, which is the car does this, the car does that, he didn't sell none of that.
Do you understand? And now again, there's a place for that. If a car guy came in and said, I'm looking for a car that gives me 120 horsepower that goes from 0 to 8, like, there's a place of selling the specs to somebody, but you have to understand who your audience is.
Even those people that need the specs, the impulsive buying decision, the reason why they will spend $1 million or $5 million on a car that drives so fast, it's not because of the specs, it's because the car drives really fast.
Yeah. So beyond just the specs, so, they sell you the experience of driving that fast in the car.
Even people who are obsessed about the nitty-gritties of cars and stuff like that, in the nitty-gritty, there is an emotional undertone. There's a reason behind why they are particular about, why I want this kind of engine, why do I want... There's always some emotional attachment.
Definitely. So that whole experience was just crazy. When I saw that video, I was like, this is a universally applied principle. Do you understand? Because you don't know it doesn't mean it doesn't work. And that's another thing. As a business owner, you can't sit down in your house or in your shop or your store and believe that you know everything as to how marketing works. There's on earth, people
don't even pay attention. They just think it's to,
get a product, tell somebody you're selling, and then expect this man buy from you. No, there are principles that guard or guide selling. There are principles that under guard selling, that reasons why that things you say to people that will trigger them to buy something. That things you say to people that will trigger them to think about you when they're about to buy that certain thing. That things you say to people even that will make them look for money to buy from you.
Yeah, actually.
I mean, you've had experiences with that where you've sold something to someone so good that tell you, sir, I need to go look for the money, I'll come away from you. Do you understand? So don't just sit down in the comfort of your home or your shop and feel like people owe it to you to come buy from you simply because you're selling.
Yeah.
Life doesn't work that way.
So, the thing is, I think we should even charge here though.
Right.
Well, before we go here, this is supposed to be an introductory.
What an introduction!
This is supposed to be an introductory explanation as regards to the things we will be talking about as regards to sales and marketing.
Yeah.
We'll be going into much more detailed explanation on, okay, first thing you should do is this. Once you do this, do this. Once you do that, do this. We're going to be going into all of those details. But for now, though, I hope you've been, heavily edified by the little things Bar has shared, which happens to be quite powerful, and all of the concepts you will be hearing progressively. So, see you guys on the next episode.
Catch you later.
Bye.